Welcome back to my channel Mini Days. On today's video I'm going to be showing you how I've dressed my dining room table all ready for Easter with some very inexpensive tips and tricks along the way. So let me show you how I've done it.
So first of all, I've used a piece of thick and striped fabric to cover my oak table. Next, I've half filled this sweetie jar with stones and put it in the middle of the table. And then these twigs, which I collected from down the track this morning, I've just snapped them so roughly the same length, and I'm just going to stand them in there one by one until I'm happy with the arrangement. Next, I'm going to stand in some artificial greenery just to fill out the centrepiece a bit more and add a bit green to it. I decided to use this IKEA tray. It's like a pale cream colour, just to add to the centrepiece. And then pushed it back into the middle. I found this interesting looking twig this morning, so I've just laid this across so you can see it from both sides of the table. Then I've just stirred this artificial succulent in a little white pot to the left hand side of the jar, and my Poundland little bronze bunny on the right hand side. Also from Poundland, I bought this set of 2 nests, a large and a small, with little eggs stuck into the small one. So I'm just going to use the large one for the table centre display, and I'm just leaning it up against my twig. And then I'm just taking clumps of reindeer moss and just dotting them about just to really cover the main gaps. I popped another one of the large nests just around at the other side of the display too. I'm using these candlestick holders that you would have seen in last week's DIY. I used them to put my Easter eggs on. These, as of today, the 16th of the 3rd, 2018, are £2.49 each in B&M bargains, and they still have some in. If you really like them, go and get some because that is super cheap. And then last week's DIY, my moss and my rose petal eggs, I'm just going to use on this display and pop one on one side and one on the other. Next, what I like to do is use greenery to tie displays together, just so they actually look like they're meant to be displayed together and not just an arrangement on the table. So this is just something I've always liked to do. So I've just stood my candlestick holders in amongst the leaves. Next, for my final Poundland bargain, I bought this Turquoise Throw. Now it's roughly about, let me just guess, 3 by 2. This is it folded in half, and I thought of this idea last night at about 3 o'clock and I couldn't sleep. What I've decided to do with it is just fold it into quarters with the tassels still on either side, and then just cut it into strips. Now you could use a sewing machine if you want to tidy this up, but I'm just doing this for display. It's basically going to look like 4 display napkins. So once I've cut all of the kind of folded sides, I've ended up then with 4 strips with tassels on the ends. Now I felt like the tassels made it look a little bit cheap. It's just obviously they're not wool, so I've just trimmed them in half, so they're about 3 inches long, and I've cut them down to about 1.5 inches. Now to display them as napkins, I've basically just folded the edge round slightly just to get the right width that I wanted. I had them in half originally, but it was just too narrow. And then I've just placed my plate where I wanted on the table, and then laid the strip of material over the plate, and then just making sure that the length that hangs over the table is where I want it to be. And then just held a section in with my fingers, and then just fold the material over. Now I've done this twice, so there's like 2 nice little kind of folds of material. And then I've done the same on the other side. This is easier if you put the plate on first, but I've recorded this after I've done it. So then I put a small white plate on the top, and then the smaller one of the set of 2 nests, I should say, on the top. And I think that looks really sweet. I've used my rose gold cutlery set because I feel like it matches in really well with the dark browns and the bronze rabbit. As a final touch, I added a little white egg to the nest in the middle of the display and a little bit of moss next to it, and I've added a few little bits of moss to the eggs on the plates too, and switched over the 2 eggs on the stands. I thought it would look better this way around. And then I had a few bits of turquoise accessories, and I've put a cushion on the sofa in the background, and I've got a couple of little things on my mantelpiece which just help tie in the room together with little pops of turquoise here and there. I've put my moss rabbit and a linen rabbit on this display just to show you here a slightly fuller option for the display. But I'm really happy with the way this looks. I feel like it's natural. It's very Easter. I can Easter egg. There's not too much on the table, so I can easily take off, say, the center display if we're going to use the table. That's if we even need to, because this table extends out to fit 12 people, so the display is only actually going to be beside probably 2 people. I hope you've picked up a little bit of inspiration from my dining room Easter table ideas this year. Thank you so much for watching. I shall see you again next Friday. Come on. Right, where did I see those tree branches? On here? Good, yeah. I think I'll go with that. Right, okay, I'm going to switch my camera off so I can get a hold of these sticks. She's pulling us. Ah, Minnie! So I've got my sticks. Almost home. The sky looks a bit grey. Sorry if the camera's all over. It's because the dog's pulling my hand that I've got the camera with, and the other hand is on the sticks. You can't really see. I've actually got quite a few. Back home, Minnie. Back home. Now, and then I'll get the dog in. Right, clean water. In you go. In you go. In you go, baby. In you go. No, she's stuck on it. Down. Good girl. Good girl. Look at this. Act a bit happier. Let's see. Let's see. Good girl, Minnie. Good girl. She's actually being really good. Put that paw in. What difference does it make you having one paw out, Minnie? Minnie, you're not finished yet. What are you doing on the side? Come on, get in here. You little monkey. Yeah. Fetch it here. Go get it. What are you after? A treat? Yeah?